Well, uh, here we are. We're live up on YouTube. I'm just sharing this information with you, my brother. I guess I gotta readjust how it connects to my X. So here we are. We're just gonna shoot it live for the first time ever going live on our platform. Or you know what? I could stop it. I mean, it's our first rodeo. It's whatever you want to do, but um, going live is such a different feel than everything we've done up to this point. So shit, we're just messing around and finding
Yeah.
out.
Do
Uh,
you want to see if it will go? It'll launch on your X. Do you want to try and stop it and restart it and just see if your X will pick it up, or
um, we'll just I just said we'll just fuck
just do
around,
it? All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I should have read all the small print. That,
Hey,
I
you're
just,
doing more
I'm
than I
really
have.
gonna, I
You're
should have
doing
I
more than
should
I
have
have.
read the small print. First time doing this, of course it's going to be messy, but I don't care. It's always fun to get to talk to you, and it's been a while since we got to talk, mainly because life was pulling us in different directions, mainly because the UFC was on break, and mainly because you, my friend, was getting into battle, gonna go throw down at Dirty Boxing, which you just did very successfully. So first off, let me say congratulations on your
Thank you.
TKO.
Thank you.
Gotta feel good. Um, so let's get into it, man. You're in there fighting. I'm gonna just be so unprofessional, and I just want to say your post fight line of I'm still horny for violence, dude. I don't know where that came from, but I loved it. I loved it because it was real. You seemed like you wanted the fight to continue. Um, I don't know personally. I don't know what it feels like exactly, but I would say, hey, that guy's hurt. That's me winning, dude. I don't give a shit. Like I won, and you were with.
Yeah.
Like if the cards would have stopped and they had to go to the cards at that point, I'm pretty sure you won the fight regardless. So, what was
Yeah.
you feeling through all that?
So it's kind of a weird feeling and situation because that was exactly the game plan. Like if you had watched Rakim's last two all his whole dirty boxing career, he's never fought more than like 45 seconds. He's just that I told Mike Perry, I told the Overdogs podcast, I said every single pre-fight interview that I did, I said I want to see this guy fight 9 minutes. I told everyone I'm going to finish him in the third round in the ninth minute. I want to see if he can get there, and he couldn't. And that's like people are not people. The some like his team are trying to pretend like it's this freak accident. Like I made that happen to him. I made him swing. I made him miss. I made the bicep pop, and it's like not a flashy finish, but I'm the one who finished him, who made his body fail, and that he couldn't continue. But like I said, I was wanting to go to the third. I was wanting to go into the third. Literally, I was having to hold myself back. He cracked me early because I was getting a little too overextended. So I'm holding back. I'm holding back. I'm holding back. Go to the end of the second. It's like, okay, now it's time. Now we're letting the dog off the leash, and fight's over. He's not gonna. He can't get off the stool. And so that's where that stupid line came from.
I loved it because I could feel the honesty of it. Like maybe like you still wanted to fight at end of the story, right? You just wanted to keep fighting. But I, as you know, a supporter of you and watching the fight, I was just like, fuck it, win, just collect the dub, like collect the dub, have fun, celebrate later. And it was, in all fairness, it was just progressively going your way. Like it started off pretty good. Yeah, in the highlight package reel they put together, they showed you flexing your iron chin. You know, you took one, but bro, like, did you feel the momentum like building in your way, a positive way throughout both rounds? Because visually, from where I was, that's how it looked.
Absolutely, and like I said, that's I'm actually so proud of myself for this fight. I'm so happy with what I did because I stuck to the game plan. And like obviously I've had a lot of fights now at this point, and this has been my problem in the past. Is I get in there and I go, I'm faster than the guy. Screw it, we're getting done right now. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we do the wrong way, right? And that's what happened in my last fight with Sordy. I got in there, I go, I'm just gonna smoke this guy. Boom, put out. And this one I stuck to the game plan. And you're right, it wasn't a blowing him out of the water. I was creeping. It was like a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit longer exchange. And you're right, it was slowly going my way, and that's exactly what the game plan was, and it was working.
Love when a game plan works, right? Because let's be honest, in sports, when we go out there and try to do our thing, there's a lot of planning, and then there's a lot of actual ad-libbing.
Yeah, you just get out there and things happen.
You know, I always tell people it's like swimming. Like, you can only talk about it on dry land so much. Yeah. You got to get out there and just do it at some point.
When fighting is so hard, a plan like that, let's take him to the third, right? That's hard in fighting, because what happens if you get hit in the first and you go, I gotta go, like I can't wait, you know? So
right, and there's the other man on the other side, right? Like, you could want to, like, hey, let's work this out, let's go 3 rounds, and if homie on the other side wants to just drop bombs and figure it out in the first 30 seconds, it's not like you get to negotiate that in words. You get to negotiate it with your fists and figure it out. That's what's up, man. Now, just talking about something we talked about off camera, because I was very curious, but I think people would want to know, how was it getting to go back to Houston, where you used to play ball, and like you got to mention, I'll throw it out there, people, supporters of the Texans showed up and was supporting you before pre-fight and all that. So how does that feel? Because I'm pretty sure, I've never talked about this with you, but I don't really think your NFL love or fans or experience or anything that really had any crossover into your fighting maybe until this point, right?
I mean, definitely not from the NFL, because I played in 4 preseason games. I wouldn't say that I had any NFL fans. I have maybe college football, people that are fans of college football, but it was a lot cooler than I expected. I wasn't expecting to be known or anyone to know me. And like I was telling you before we started recording, or before we went live, that there was people coming up, all Polynesian people, all Samoan people coming up to me at pre-fight weigh-ins, being like, "Oh, we remember you," all of a sudden. And like, that was actually cool. That was very cool to be like, oh, these people were like, this is 10 years ago, right? These guys remember a free agent fullback from 10 years ago. That's cool.
That is what's up. And I want to spin this a little bit while, I get to pick your brain about dirty boxing. I can proudly say that because of you, but probably even if not with you, I've got to watch all of their stuff since the inception, and the growth of their product, the smoothness of how they put it out there. I just want to ask, as a competitor, what is it like being a dirty boxer?
It's great, man. And there's so many, I can't speak for every fighter. Everyone has different things that they value, and I'm going to call it the production, but I don't mean like the stream, right? But the way that dirty boxing puts things together is so nice. It's so nice, and it's so professional. It's a professional run organization. They follow things to the T, the same that the UFC does. Everything the UFC does, dirty boxing does. Your flights, you get your flights 2 weeks out, right? You don't get your flights a day before you're supposed to be on them, and you're not on the cheapest, junkiest flights that they could find. You get your flights early. You get there. They have kit for you. They have massages for you. They take really, really good care of the fighters. And then the absolute number one thing, you fight, win or lose, you fight to the death. Step out of the ring, boom, they hand you a check. You get your money that day, that second that you finish fighting, and you can't. This is prize fighting. We're prize fighters. That's what we're here for.
Right. I mean, and not even trying to make it less important than that, but it's also a job. Like, it's a task, right? Yeah. You're commissioned to do this task, like anybody else that does a job anywhere else. When you complete the task, you want payment. And that's great that they do it. I made this joke before, but I think it's worth saying. It's pretty cool to be connected to the eldest combat sport that we know of on record, sumo, where they get paid right on the spot. You get paid right on the spot. That's good stuff. Now, something you mentioned there, I just wanted to touch on this topic because you posted on X about after you were received from the airport traveling with I think Diego Zuniga.
Yeah. Yep.
And I got to watch him box. It was funny that you were like, I didn't really know what's up with this guy in your post. And I beforehand, I was like, I've seen this young man before. He's pretty nice. I was not aware of how nice he was going to be that night. But you did post a little bit about just sharing, just maybe a little bit of a fight philosophy and him asking you about elbows and just kind of like, what is that like? Kind of not just the information part, bro, but like just linking up with this other guy that's going to be fighting. He's you're never going to fight him. You're obviously different weight classes. So you're just kind of sharing like, hey bro, this is what's up. Like how's that feeling?
It was cool. It was really cool. And so, like I said, they Dirty Boxing takes care of you, right? They pick us all up. They make sure we all land at the same time, pick us up from the airport. Me and him were both blue corner, right? And it's like, I don't know the like PC the way to say it, but there's like an A side and a B side, right? And blue corner, it's the B side. Like I was in there. I'm not down talking myself. Everyone can win on any given night. Me and Diego both won, right? But the guy he fought was some undefeated kickboxer that Dirty Boxing was super excited about. And he was actually super cool dude, really cool, chill. And he was just asking me because he knew I had fought for Dirty Boxing before. He's like, "What are the rules like? What are the small gloves like?" And I was like, "Well, I'm an MMA fighter. Like, what are you? You're a boxer?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a boxer." He goes, "I just don't know what it's like to get hit by an elbow." And I just straight up with him. I was just like, "Dude, it's like if you can't kick, if you can't knee, it's actually really, really hard to elbow somebody when they're punching you in the face. Like it's hard to get elbows off." And that's one of the things I love about being a part of this sport is this is a new sport. Like us fighters are developing it. We're making it. If you go to Thailand and ask, how do I land my elbows, right? They're going to show you an inside low kick, a teep, a hop, all this stuff, everything that's worthless for Dirty Boxing, things you can't do. So I'm not trying reading my Twitter post. It was like, I'm not trying to take any credit for what he did. He's awesome. And he was so good, sticking him with the jab, looking great. But all I just told him, I was like, dude, no one can elbow you if you just punch them in the face.
Right. And I would say, yeah, he performed arguably top 2 jabs so far displayed in the Dirty Boxing format. Oh, yeah. It was really, really good. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, someone already asking you, like, it is such 5 events, such a short window of time because it's so unique. The rule set is unique and refreshing. And I got to say, as an observer, even the way the rules are applied in just 5 events have gotten a lot better.
So that's the big thing. The refs, they talked to us about it at the rules meeting. The owners did, and then the way the rules are now are a lot different than when they were a DBX1, right? It's hard unless you're out. They're going to let you stand back up and keep fighting. You can still get ground and pound, and you can get knocked out on the ground, but they're not letting you get TKO'd on the ground, which is cool. Like, it creates big, violent finishes. There, the light heavyweight fight, right? That's the dude got dropped like 3 times, and they kept letting him get back up. More of a boxing style, but it's very cool because they don't want you grappling, right? And if you're gonna ground and pound me, I don't care what the rules are. I'm gonna grab you, right? I'm gonna grapple you if you're ground and pound me, regardless of what the rules are. So, and it seems like the refs are on board. The refs have got it figured out, and the rules are just driving the excitement, which is what this sport is all about.
And that's what's up, man. And that's to be expected. I know I'm making a rough comparison from something from the 90s, but if you look at UFC 1 versus UFC 5, there was already differences. There was already like very clear big differences for the rules, how they were applied, and for the competitors' understanding of what the heck was going on. And you being literally at day one, episode one, fight one, uh, yeah, that's huge to see and feel the difference. Now, on the other side of it, man, like just kind of closing up your experience so far with the dirty boxing thing. I don't know, like where do you see right now the division? Because I just want to break that down. There's not that many heavyweights, and not to make drama, but the big guy of the division seems to be in legal trouble. If you guys don't know, Rosenstrike is, well, he's got to defend some felonies before he defends anything else. So, well, I'll just leave it at that. Um, but yeah, man, like what's the feelings of like the league and like the weight class and what you see, what you want to be doing?
I think specifically the heavyweight division is in a good spot, mainly because anyone can come over and do it, right? If you don't have to cut weight, we're just going to go out there and slug. I think the heavyweight division is in a great spot. For me, from my perspective, right, I'm not trying to jump the line. I want this sport to grow and do good. And for that to happen, we need to have meritocracy, right? We need to have the guys that deserve to be fighting for the belt to fight for the belt. And that's the Wolf, right? That's Rob Perez. He beat me on 4 days' notice in a split decision, right? But he has 2 wins, and he was slated to fight Rosenstruck for the belt. He pulled out, and then Rakim, who I just beat, stepped in and lost to Rosenstruck. So if Rosenstruck is like, the belt needs to be defended though. The belt has to get defended. It hasn't been defended since last July. If Rosenstruck is available, him and the Wolf can fight, and I would love to fight on that card and fight somebody else. But if not, like you said, if Rosenstruck's, if he's in the back of an ice van on his way to Suriname right now, like then I'll fight the Wolf. I'll fight the Wolf for whatever they're doing with that belt. But the division is in a great place. I just don't want it to get jammed up. Let's get it moving. Is all I'm saying.
That's what's up, my bro. And I appreciate your honesty with that. And I'm gonna take off my interviewer hat because it's been a while since I got to interview you. So I felt like I just needed to go into that format for a bit. But I got one last thing, and this is not interview format. This is just as friends. What was it like? Because your first rodeo with dirty boxing, you mentioned 4 days notice or whatever. What was it like having a bunch of dudes on recording, glazing your physique, bro? Like, how was that?
Dude, so I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. It's nice. It feels good. And like even Jason Anik, when I got there, Jason Anik was like, "Whoa, dude, what's going on? You look all so different." I go, "Yeah, man, I trained for this. The last time you saw me, I hadn't trained in like 3 months, and I literally saw Abe Kawa at the UFC in Vegas, where Curtis was supposed to fight Rizvan, and then pulled out day of the fight. I literally saw Abe Kawa that day. Heard about dirty boxing and just told him, dude, I would love to do it if it's available. And he goes, "Oh, we're doing it on Friday. You want to go?" And I go, "Oh, why? I already said yes. I gotta do it." And I hadn't I think before then I fought in like November or something, and hadn't trained since then. And but yeah, it was good to. That's what I want, right? That's how I look, and that's how I perform. I was ready to go all 3 rounds, bringing the heat, and everything went the way I wanted.
That's what's up, man. I'm feeling that. Now, moving on from dirty boxing, which I'll close with saying this, that I'm a proud to say day one, 30 plus years fan of the UFC, seeing everything they've had to give. And you being a pioneer, a day oneer at dirty boxing here at number 5, and God bless many, many more of their events. I'm looking forward to 30 years from now, revisiting some of these memories with you, bro, and going back on this. But we have some things to go back on and look at from this past weekend, UFC 325. We haven't had a back-to-back UFC numbered event since all that long time ago that I just mentioned. I think it was probably right around the Spike era when that stopped happening, when Tough was born and all that stuff. So it's been a long time since we've had back to back. I think it was in the early hundreds, maybe. I think it stopped. I don't know. Somebody look that up. We'll get mad about it. But what do you remember most? What do you remember most from the fight? What is something like that stuck out from you that you want to talk about?
From the last weekend?
Yeah, from 325 or just
Dude,
specific this last one.
I've been sitting here. I knew we were going to talk tonight, and I've been thinking all day, like, how bad do I want to go in on these guys? And the answer is a lot. Like, I'm going in, like, and listen when I say this before I give any names. Right? It's not about losing. It's not about losing. I've lost plenty of fights. It's not about losing fights. It's about how they're losing. About how they're losing. It's three specific, right? Three very specific people. First two are my people, my people, Junior Tafa and Tai Tuivasa. Like, what are we doing? Junior, have you ever heard of grappling? And I'm biting my tongue. He's actually my buddy, dude. But I'm like, how can we just lose every fight where the good person shoots a takedown? How is this? How is that our game plan? Okay, we're just gonna go in and throw hammers and hope somebody doesn't shoot it. Hope nobody in an MMA match shoots a takedown. And then Tuivasa, dude. It's been like 5 years since he had a win. People have gone through an entire high school career and never seen him win, and it's just from being out of shape. He looked good in round one. He looked round one. I'm going, okay. He took that time off. It's good. And then round two is completely gone. Like, well, I'm just sitting there. I'm just, like I said, those are my people. These are my people. And I'm just going, come on, guys. We gotta speak up for the nation, dude.
I feel you, and as Polynesian cousins, I can feel you on that one. I'm always cheering for those guys. I don't even know which direction I want to go. I've mentioned this before. It's crazy that this lineage of these fighters, because you can trace it upwards and backwards, it's the same damn problem.
Yes.
It's the same damn problem from generation, from their term that they use for him. The Super Samoan, the lead horse, had the same problem. He had the same problem, and it showed up in Tai, it showed up in Justin, then it shows up in Junior, and it's this thing. And by the time the fighter gets some kind of formation of, a takedown defense, which Tai showed a little bit of it, like the gap is just too far gone.
Yeah.
And against a guy with, respect to Mr. Teixeira, who's like, that's not even his thing. It's like his C- skill set, and you're still kind of struggling with it. I want to pivot all the way over to the Tai part, I guess, because we've talked about this deeply before, but I think it really needs to be addressed, is how a fight camp works, because they were giving him a lot of praise. But every time I heard it, maybe I'm just a negative bastard, but every time they're like, oh yeah, he started camp at 330 pounds and he made the weight. He made the weight at 265 and he started at 330 pounds. And I kept thinking in my head, fucking people, if you understand what they're saying right now, what means is that his entire fight camp was focused on weight loss.
Yeah, he had a fat camp, not a fight camp.
Yeah, fat camp. Thank you. If you're not increasing your skill sets throughout a camp and your focus is just on losing the weight, and after that kind of layoff, you're not bringing your best. And so if you're not bringing your best, are you asking to lose? Yes, that's how sports work. Don't bring your best, you're asking to lose. So Tai's loss hurt more than Junior's loss, just because he had Billy on the other side, and Billy was playing. Billy was playing along with the thing. He activated his Samoan too, and he was like, "Okay, fine, let's scrap." So that one almost worked out. But in Tai's situation, it was like bro, like you almost asked. I'm so grateful to see you back in under the weight class to fit the weight class, but it was just like, man, I want to see you win. I want to see better things for you, and I don't know, bro.
Or give yourself a chance. I want to see you give yourself a chance. If you, dude, I'm telling the UFC doesn't sign these cards 6 weeks out. They sign them like 20 weeks out, right? If you're 20 weeks out and you're 330 pounds, that means you weren't even thinking about being a UFC fighter anymore. Like that's you're not training seriously and living life the way that you're supposed to if you're 330 pounds and a UFC fighter, a ranked UFC fighter.
That's the killer part, right? Ranked, top of the food chain supposed to be. Top of the food chain supposed to be inside of the top of the food chain supposed to be league. That's reverse prestige loss in that equation. Very odd to me. But beyond that point, I think I'm gonna switch just this talking point just a little bit.
I have one more.
Please, go ahead.
I can give my Simone brothers a rest. But Diego Lopez, right? Diego Lopez. We're live. We're live right now, so I'm not gonna. So you don't have to go back and edit what we said the last time they fought. He didn't do anything different.
No,
you've now fought. You've now gotten 50 minutes to fight for the title, and not done a single thing to actually progress yourself towards winning that title. Just ran straight forward, ran in a straight line, and watched someone move in a circle and go, damn, what you're going to stand straight there this time. Oh, they walk and go in a circle, right? 50 minutes. What do we like? You got an undeserved title shot. It's like sometimes we all get things you don't deserve. Sometimes you shoot your shot with that girl at the bar and she says yes, right? Sometimes it happens. You gotta lay down. You got to do something. You don't just go, oh, I'm gonna go do that same thing that I lost a 5-round decision to 2 years ago or a year ago.
I damn right, bro. And you know it's funny because that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. I was gonna bring up that fight and the sense of, all right, okay, whatever's beforehand, undeserved for sure. Not something I even cared to want to see, but because the way it played out, I was just like, man, to hell with this. Like, what is the point of doing it? Why are we even watching this? To see the same exact result. And hey, let's just make this clear. I'm not fighting Volkanovski. I know Brada's hard to fight. He's clearly one of the best to ever do it. But at least when Max got to fight him that second time, people still make drama about it, whether who, what, when, right, where, what won the fight. He made it interesting. He brought a new flavor. Like, not just go out there and just take the L. And here's my last crying into the wind is both your feet broke. You broke both your feet. Both your feet is broke. I'm just going to keep saying it because it sucks. Anybody had a broken foot, you know how much it sucks. Now you got 2 broke feet, and what do you got to show for it? Fucking nada. You didn't try you accomplished 0 progress on the me versus Volkanovski chart. And I hate to see it for a guy in his moment because now it's like, sorry, bro, you're not Max. You're not going to get to fight Volk 3 times. Like you just, as long as Volk is king, you're never going to smell that belt. That's all that happened to you. And that's a tough pill to swallow, bro.
And, yeah, absolutely. And like, this is a personal thing. This is a personal thing for me. And, you know, Diego Lopez has probably had a more successful fight career than I have had, right? But like there's comes a time when you know you're losing. That you can look at my career. You can say anything that you want about my career. I've lost 1 decision. One decision. Like there comes a time when you know you're losing and you can go, oh, I guess we're just going to ride this out or you can bite down and give yourself a chance, right? You can say, we're losing anyway. Let's flip a coin, right? Let's flip a coin and give myself a shot.
A chance, right? Like You're already losing. Doesn't matter if you
right.
Really, I mean,
saying lost to decision or lost to TKO, right? Like, I don't think it matters. Like I said, People can disagree with me. I think we have one viewer in the comments now. You could disagree with me if you want, but a loss is a loss, and I would rather go out on my shield than just go, oh, I'll just let him outpoint me for the next 35 minutes.
Right? And I'll say this. It's more about the fact that it's a world title. I don't know if people like get more cautious on like not getting finished in a world title, but it's like, dude, that's your time. That's your time. Just push the chips all in. No one's gonna forget or remember which way or the other if you lose. But this is your shot at the world title. Bankrupt, fucking bankrupt, bro. If there's a monopoly, throw your ass in jail. Like, just go. Because what now all that's left is Diego has no shot against Alex, and that's just the way it's going to be forever. So, all right, what's next? And I guess with that being said, I just want to bring up a side talking point, which I think is dirty work by the UFC, because I'm a weirdo. I'll wake up at any time. I know most of the fights are scheduled on my time. I live in Vegas. I get to see most of the fights on a very convenient schedule. But to put fights on starting at 9 a.m. Australian time, I just want to bring this. Like, would you go to fights that you weren't involved in at 9 a.m.?
Oh, attend them as a fan?
Yes. No. Right? It's fucking weird. I think it's dirty work that the UFC is going there on a live event and making them eat the shit time. It's just strange to me. I just wanted to bring that up. I know it's a random ass topic.
That all has to do with because it was Perth, right?
No, this one was in Sydney.
Sydney. Okay. So that has to do with Sydney. That has to do with how much Sydney pays the UFC. Sydney has to pay the UFC to bring it there, and then they have to pay more to shift the time zone of the card.
Damn, which I'm wondering, is that fee more because it's Paramount? Like, because Paramount cares what time it is, right? Like, they're the ones who shared out the money. So is that fee more than it used to be? And then if that going forward, like, what other places around the world want to pay the money to get it on their local time? I'm thrown off.
Yeah, and it's like, this is something that I don't think anybody knows. It's the city that has to pay. Like when I fought, when I cornered Curtis fighting in London paid, and it was at 8 o'clock London time. When we fought there again a year later in Manchester, Manchester didn't pay, and it was at 5 a.m. Manchester time.
Dude, that's crazy rough. Well, that's a perfect segue. I don't know if you know, but folks, if you to the few people listening and watching, shoot your thoughts in here with us. It's not just us wanting to talk. This is our first time going live. We're figuring it out as it goes. So drop any questions, drop any thoughts, chime in. Because my random ass thought right now, since you brought up London and you brought up the UK, which absolutely sucks, they got a card stacked on their social media, stacked UFC card with stacked like you stack a pile of shit. Austin Lane, no disrespect, but full disrespect coming. Featured bout. How is that a stack card? And please answer that question. How is Austin Lane in the featured bout of a card a stack card? You're lying to me. You're lying to me when you're saying that stuff. So is there anything on this upcoming card that you give a shit about?
The London card?
Yeah.
No, dude. I'm trying to not just hate, just be a hater about everything. But dude, the main event. Yes, Lerone had that great spinning elbow KO, right? When was his last finish before that, right? And then you got him against most of our dude. That is gonna be the number one and number two, the most deserving guys who should have already been fought for a title. One of them should have fought Volk last week. And so now one of them is going to eliminate the other. And I promise you, it's going to be a boring fight. And I don't mean that to talk trash about either of those guys. They're the two highest skilled 145-pound men on the planet, these two. But it is not an entertaining fight for the main event of an international card.
Dude, thank you. Thank you, because I'm always the one pouring cold water all over everything. And they're like, oh, Rob, you're always being so negative. I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels this way. And you're right. You're right. It's this is this is starting to look like what we already knew was a promotional problem for the UFC, and the fact that they don't have enough headliners. They just genuinely don't. And how are they supposed to keep up? And I know that that's not always going to happen, but having back-to-back numbered events, now you're going into the first fight night of the Paramount deal, and it's this tremendous drop-off. Folks, once again, comment if you feel the tremendous drop-off, like people used to complain about UFC Apex cards and the drop-off then, but like this is a huge drop-off in promotional effort, promotional product. And I don't know, man. Like people are already bitching about the 325 lineup. I can't wait to see the way they piss and moan about this one. It doesn't look good.
So I don't, dude. I was not involved with the UFC at all last year. I have very little inside information to give. Right, I corner Curtis Blades. That's my only inside connection to UFC. I don't know what happened. Like they're clearly, obviously trying to come out hot for Paramount, right? They're clear. They clearly want. They're doing 2 numbered events back to back. They're trying to put on good cards. Where are the fighters? Where are? You're telling me, okay, we had 2 number events, we had 2 title fights. You're telling me the best that they come up for number 3 for the fight night was Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira? Like that's the best you could do. and I'm not hating on those guys. That's
what I mean, dude. That's what I mean.
Like I'm saying, I'm always trying to be fighter first. I'm not hating on those guys. I'm hating on the UFC a little bit right now. Wait, you guys got $1 billion, literally $1 billion in revenue for not revenue. You have $1 billion for this year. Like, what are you spending it on? Where's it going?
That's $1 billion, not including the previous money and the annual money coming in for the crypto gear and the Venom gear.
Meta Apex,
all the
Meta Apex.
Yeah, Meta Apex. How much did that cost? Meta, all that other stuff, right? Like, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I
do know there was fighters. I lied. I have inside information. All the fighters were asking, "Can we get Meta glasses?" Right? It's the Meta Apex. Can we get Meta glasses in our like fight kits? Right. No. The answer was no. No. Are you crazy? That money's for Dana. That money's not for you guys.
Oh, that hurts, bro. And I think that's a big swing and a miss. I think personally, as part of, I'm not a part of Meta, but I think that's a big swing and a miss. I think you could swing I don't want Meta glasses. I don't give a shit. But you know how many people would buy Meta glasses because they're fighters now wearing it and they're making content with it and yada yada whatever else that goes with it. I think that's a huge swing and a miss by them to not, because what is their internal cost for those things is probably 5 nickels, you know what I mean? Which is a quarter, people. But still, like, it's probably nothing. And so, yeah, that's crazy. Well, 2 other things that were happening just this weekend that I think was good and fun was boxing. Boxing doesn't have a money problem. And the UFC doesn't have a money problem, but the way they spend it is kind of, sort of a thing, maybe. But boxing, they're paying everybody. They don't give a shit. They're like, I want you to fight. How much? Okay, whatever. You should have said something bigger because I was going to pay you anyways. Make it happen. And that seems to be what's going on over there, bringing lots of good fights. A lot of good things happen. American fighters were kind of featured. We're pretty much the featured product. A lot of the guys won. It was good times. Shout out Bruce Carrington, Shushu Carrington. But the coolest fucking thing, maybe the coolest thing, awkward thing, something I seen on replay and I never got sick of, which is rare, is Jarrell Miller's toupee getting lit up off his head. Bro, I know you watch just as much fights as me and you see all kinds of fights inside the gym. You ever seen somebody lose their wig?
No. I've never seen this, and especially the way that it happened. I've never seen it, and I literally, I think that was it was either before or after my fight. Was it Saturday night? Was the boxing?
Yeah.
I'm literally talking to my coaches, and I'm going, why would you? Why would you wear a toupee? Just you're a black guy. Just shave your head. Like, what do we do? Why are you having a toupee on in a boxing match? You know where your toupee is going to get knocked off in a boxing match.
Exactly. Like number one risk area for a hairpiece is the ring in live action, which I've watched Jarrell Miller for a long time. I watched him back when he was on the needles and he was supposed to be the next big things. Life happens, shit sucks. He got busted twice. Looks like a different fighter these days. But it makes me think like because his head was obviously shaved bald for the two piece. Because here's the funny part was I was jumping back and forth between the UFC and the boxing. So I knew his fight was coming up. So I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention really. I was locked into, I think at the time was the junior Tafel fight was going on. And that was a good ass fight. So I was kind of more locked into over there. And then I looked back and I just saw it was gone, but I kind of missed the action at first. I had to actually catch that afterwards. But then I locked in and I was like, why is this guy cut his hair like a Shaolin monk? Like I missed that part. And I was like, yeah, dude, he already has a perfectly shaven head. Why would he do this to himself? And then I started thinking, I've watched this guy fight a lot. I've seen a lot of Big Baby Miller fights. And then I just said, how long has he been spoofing us? Like, how long has this wig game gone on? That's where I need an answer.
And here's the thing about this. This is the best thing that's ever happened in his career. He's gotten more, and he won the fight. And he's gotten more clicks and more views from this than everything else in his career. And he was on Breakfast Club today talking about how his drug failure with when he was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. He's talking about how his drug failure was from a dick pill, from a gas station dick pill.
The John Jones excuse?
That's what is that. So that's the excuse that he gave. And his manager even came out and confirmed it and all this stuff. Guy. So I've also been watching Big Baby for a long time. Go Google what was in his system before he fought Anthony Joshua. It was everything. It was not, if that's what they sell in dick pills, I'm gonna go buy stock in them, right? I'm gonna go buy 1,000 of them if that's what's in them. It was HGH, testosterone. It was everything, every performance enhancing drug there was in his system twice. They even retested it twice. And so I was just laughing that he's got a little bit of, and props to Charlemagne who asked him about it. Who was like, dude, what's the deal? You had this big shot and you failed it, and he threw out this lame excuse, like, just own it, dude. Just own it.
I know we've talked about this in the past, but seriously, bro, if you're gonna fuck around and then you get caught, just fucking own it. And it would actually be more funny. It would be a better talking point, especially when you load it up. Like you weren't even like, some athletes are choice, they're selective. They just want the one thing they feel they're deficient in, whether it's speed or size or keeping their weight during at a lower level, whatever it is. But when some guys go like, hey, hit me with the Russian 1980s Olympics buffet, and let's just say it, like, dude, I took as many shots as my butt could take. Like, I don't know. That's just weird. It's just weird. And then you want to blame the old, shout out to the gas station dick pills who always catching strays for shit they never do. Like, I feel more weird for the guys who go to the gas station and get those pills and they're like expecting all this great shit and maybe it doesn't happen for them. They're like, damn, Jarrell Miller told me I was going to be big and strong.
And listen, like, obviously no one believes that. I know none of you guys believe this excuse, but just in case you do, like, you think that $3 pill at the gas station is cutting its fake ingredients with with $100 PEDs with the NFR and EPO and all this stuff, so that you take and go, oh man, I really do feel better, and selling it to you for $3 or whatever, $5.
Yeah, no. The answer is no. That's not how it works. But nice try. Good one there. Now to the main event, just a little bit. I sometimes, as a longtime fan of combat sports, I get my fandom in the way. Actually, it happens a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I get my fandom in the way for what I hope to happen versus what I'd like to say is a pretty decent analyst. The analyst in me knows a lot and is pretty fucking accurate, except the fan in me goes, shut the fuck up. This is what's gonna happen. And I was hoping in my stupid mind that Teo would win the fight, knowing damn well, and I told many people that Shakur Stevenson's a way too good of a pure boxer. He doesn't fight you, he boxes you. His technique is shit, just so damn good. It's the best right now, and arguably some of the best ever when you talk about just the art of boxing. He's not trying to fight you, but just trying to box. And man, did he prove me right and wrong at the same time? Because I was hoping that it was going to win, but he didn't. Teo, that is. And I've never seen a world title fight that was decided, like handedly decided by the 6th round. Like I was like, man, well, does he have like pepper spray in the corner? Because I don't know what the fuck he's going to be able to do. He's got no answers. Did you get to see that fight?
So I did, and it's so funny that you say that, because I love boxing. I've said on here before, I love boxing. That's part of why I'm doing dirty boxing, because I'm such a big fan of boxing. But I would put myself in the like casual category, in the sense that I really only watch heavyweight boxing. Like I'll just be upfront. That's what I like watching, heavyweight boxing. So I've never watched Shakur Stevenson box before, and I'm tuning in. I'm watching this. I've seen Teofimo because he fought what's his name? The Matrix. Well, yeah, but he beat Lomachenko. He beat Lomachenko, and that's like why I've seen him along the way. But I've never seen Shakur fight. Like, I'm being honest with you guys. I'm being honest. And I literally watched the first round, and I go, oh, this is Muhammad Ali. Like, I did not realize how good this dude is, and he just stretched just the whole way, like, and pitched a no-hitter, you know.
Insert that I was not familiar with your game meme right there. Yeah, dude. I knew it was going to be a tough night, but I was hoping at least that Teo wasn't going to try to box, which unfortunately he did for like too long, and he didn't commit. He did start finding some success in the body attack later, but it was like too little too late. And I was hoping he would just be more in, and he would pay the price to go in, but would voluntarily move out. And I'm like, dude, you know what the fucking price to be inside with Shakur is? It's full price. You're going to eat at minimum a punch, clean, probably two. And yeah.
This is one of the things I kind of loved about old school boxing, you know, Duran and like, I'm talking real old school before I was even born boxing. But like, people knew who they were. They knew who they were, and they accepted what it was going to take and did it. I feel like nowadays everybody wants to be slick. Everybody wants to be the boxer. Everyone wants to outbox, and then until they can't, right? Like other than Wilder, right? Wilder's the only one that's going to go do his thing one way or another. But like, yeah, you're 100% right. Teal was like, no, I'm just as good as you. I'm just as good as you. He's getting out jabbed by a southpaw, right? Like, that's, if a southpaw's landing jabs on you, that's like a red flag. Like, you gotta bite down and you gotta go, you know.
It was clear as day. One thing I wanted to bring up, and I know I'm not criticizing like their relationship per se, because God bless them, and I think it's cool when fathers and sons can do anything professionally together, even if it's like, I don't know, fishing. But like, they at multiple points I almost felt bad for Teo, because you just got this emotional guy rambling gibberish, no different than me or any fan would just be yelling random gibberish at you. Like, how much does it help? And this is an honest question. How much does it help if you come in from a fight, it's not going your way, and I yell at you, fucking hit him. You just gotta get out there and fucking hit him. What are you doing, man? Just fucking hit him. How much help does that bring to your life at that moment?
So it's different. It's different for everybody. It's different there for everybody. Big throwback here. Throwback for people that it went viral. Devin Clark. I don't know if people remember that MMA fighter Devin Clark, whose dad used to always be in his corner and was going viral, screaming at him, like going crazy, going insane. Devin was my teammate, and we took his dad. It was accorded, like, just like you say, I don't want that. I don't want that, and I don't think that's what's good for you. So we took his dad out of the corner. I replaced his dad in the corner. And then we found out that Devin needs somebody to scream at him. He won't get going unless someone's acting a fool on the sideline. So it's different for everybody. I do know that Tio has had. I think that his dad has been in the way for him really getting over the hump and being that dude for a long time. But it's different for everybody. Some people respond to that.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I was kind of prefacing in the beginning is like respect to their relationship. They've already won world championships. So who am I? I'm not criticizing, but when you just see it, you're like, how about like one piece of advice? Anything, like having someone shit on you while you just got punched in the face a bunch. I was like, I don't see how this is helping at all, but whatever. Things happen that way. He announced after the fight, Teo, that is, that he's moving up a weight class. So good for him. Boxers can't stay in their weight classes forever. It's time to move on, and especially if he just lost all his titles there, what is he going to do? Like fight for him back? Not likely. So good for him on all that. Shoot, man, is there any other areas of the fight game that maybe I forgot along the way to bring up, or something that we talked about that jumped into your mind?
It's just funny, these ebbs and flows, because you're talking about how boxing, how like even the Zuffa boxing has been like really exciting recently. I don't know what this like ebb and flow is that the boxing world is now kind of like on fire, and I don't know if it is Zuffa boxing getting involved and like they're like, all right, well, we better start putting on these shows that we've been promising people for years, or what. But boxing is in such a fun place right now, and it feels like MMA is like the opposite of the opposite. It's like, what fights are you excited about in MMA right now? Like
I'm gonna jump out and just say a lot of the ones I want to see can't be done for multiple reasons or another. I'm gonna say it. I don't like Ilya Tapuria, but regardless, he's busy fighting with his baby mama. So good luck with that, I guess, bro. And then you got one guy with his surgery needed, but he's over there wrestling John Jones, and then also his religious beliefs.
Yeah, another. We're live now, so we're just gonna spit it all out. Yeah. I was being an idiot. Got anyone who's watching this, like, I don't have the ability to see if we have people watching this. 99% of the time when I'm posting things on social media, I'm just being dumb on purpose. Like, I'm just being dumb on purpose most of the time. But I posted something about Fluffy's coach was like talking about Hamzat, about exactly what you're saying. The dude doesn't fight. Dude's holding up the division. Dude's blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was just being dumb. Like, yeah, his coach specifically said Hamzat only wants a bunch of money to fight, and he doesn't care about the division. And I responded just being like, yeah, that's kind of what everyone who's ever put on a pair of gloves wants. We just want a bunch of money. I don't care about the rest of this division. Right. But he did respond back, and it was very, very interesting what he said, that because of what Hamzat has, right? Because he's like basically a dictator's like little plaything, like a dictator's little dog. He's basically set for life now. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. There's no incentive for him to be champion, for him to fight, because he is the champion, and he gets to stay the champion until Dana decides to take it away. So unless they threaten him, we're only going to see Hamzat every other year. He's never going to fight because the dictator that he lives with, that he lives in his house, wants to say the champion of the world lives in my house.
And that makes sense. If you go look up his fight record. It's not talking shit. He fights once a year now. That's his pace. His pace is one fight a year. I also think this does not answer the question of what MMA fight I want to see, but there's too many possible fights. Okay, I'm gonna skip all over my words. First off, the fight I wanted to see, the fight gods took away from me. God bless you, Kayla Harrison. But that shit sucks. And once again, God bless, on the road to recovery. But that was a fucking fight I wanted to see, bro. Like, I wanted to see that shit, and it did not happen. So I had to get that off my chest. But then, like, everybody else and their mama building up this fucking imaginary shitty fucking, I don't give a fuck. Sorry, I had to get all that out. White House card. Like, you want to put every fighter that's ever been known on that one card, so we have nowhere else to go. Well, and then I know sore spot, but heavyweight division, what the fuck's gonna go on there? We got, Tom and his magical eyeball that never was showing any bruising, needing surgeries. While meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett looks like he got shot in the eye, and is recovering on a normal time schedule. And is already talking. What's up?
Did you see Ensign Inoue do a breakdown of that?
Yeah.
And listen, I'm Team Tom. All right, I'm not against Tom. Tom, take care of your eyes. Tom, do your thing. But Ensign was like, "This is someone who wants to fight. This is what someone that wants to fight does. They open their eyes. They let the doc see it. They try and fight." I was like, oh, you're right. You're right.
And if anybody on the planet has right to talk about the dog in you or the will of the warrior to fight how much you want to fight, it is Ensign. You guys never seen Ensign fight, so go do it. Do yourself a favor. Have fun. It's a blast. But he's absolutely right. I think to paraphrase his analogy was, if you snap your arm and your ligaments in your arm is out, you can either go, this hurts, I can't use it, I think I'm done in this fight, or you go, shit, this is busted up, how else can I fight? Like, what else can I bring to the table? Oh, my eye screwed up, can I see out the other eye? Can I turn the other way? And I was like, that's why you're the man, Ensign. That's why people respect your fights 20 fucking years later as some of the greatest examples of heart ever shown. And I just think it's the contrast, right? We keep seeing examples, whether it was Waldo Cortez Acosta and his overcoming of the eye poke. And once again, I know every eye poke's different, but it was the reaction, the body language. So this is not even about ramping on the eye pokes. This is about key figures, key champions. I just listed 3 of them. I think there's another one that I'm brain farting, but there's 3 champions that are just off the map. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, dude. So, and then, and I don't really want to be a dick about this, but like I know you have different feelings about this one, but like Mackenzie Dern, they're parading her everywhere they can for the moment, as long as it lasts, because the warrior princess that is Wei Li is coming back, and she's gonna take that title, and that's just the bottom line. So they're marketing the shit out of that division while Dern has that belt on her shoulder. And that's another one that that seems like another dead foregone conclusion for a division. So it's like, how many things do we even have to sell here? Like, what are, when you talk about, and I know this is bigger than sport, but like the UFC is not bigger than sport, but how like you said, like the bottom line is, what do we have to offer? What can we build besides this White House card? What the fuck can we do with multiple champions down, one a foregone conclusion? I genuinely don't know. And I wish I had an answer. I wish I had something to say.
Yeah, it's a rough landscape in a time that is supposed to be this was supposed to be the golden era, right? We got all the money, we got all the funding, you don't have to pay for pay-per-view, guys. Aren't you excited that you get to watch Mosfar and Laron Murphy fight for free, like, or for $8.99? You know, like that's it's. Is it a rough time? I'm still an MMA fan. I'm still a UFC fan, but it is. I'm hoping it turns around a bit. You know.
I looked at next week's card, and I just want to say shout out to Kyoji Horiguchi because he gave me the answer. I can finally say something positive after 25 minutes of crying. My answer, the fight I want to see, is Joshua Van and Manal Kape. That fight, that's a fight I really want to see because out of all the divisions, that one has multiple, like, anybody who loses, there's already another guy right there that's like, oh shit, yeah, I want to see that fight too. So both those guys, I want to see it. Pantoja's healing process seems to be going well, so he won't be too far out of the mix. He'll probably fight before Hamzat. I'm just throwing random daggers in there for no reason. There you go. That's my answer. I finally got a positive.
We got one. We got one.
We got
Flyweights.
Your most favorite division.
Yeah.
I know. But isn't that okay? So I think we come to a conclusion that says a lot about where MMA is at right now. While on the other side, boxing can put together any magical fantasy we want. Tyson Fury's out of retirement, gonna fight Makhmuradov. I think I'm saying that name correctly, which is good, which is a great fight. You got Usyk and Wilder staring at each other.
Talking of it, that's what. So I want to see it. I hope it happens. It'll be cool. It's good. But now it feels like we're just literally shifting the UFC to boxing. We're just like, sure, Usyk, Wilder. Let's see it for undisputed. All the belts, put them all on the line. Even though Wilder's 1-3 in his last 4.
Shoot, man. And just to put the cherry on the pie as we leave, I think that says a lot. That the best thing both you and I can put together right now, the fight to see, is Manal Kape and Joshua Van. And I do want to leave on a more positive note. The March 7th UFC card is stacked. That card is stacked. That's a genuinely stacked card with Max and Charles and so many others. I can't list them off the top of my head. Give me a second, I'll pull it up. But that card is just like, whoa. Bro, that's a fight card. So I think Ortega's out, but Moicano's going to get a replacement. Kyle Brahayo against RDR. Garbrandt versus Jalong. Sumandarji versus Jesus Aguilar. I mean, Robocop versus Bruno Ferreira. Rob Font against Raul Rojas Jr. The homie Cody Durden against Timin Dimbero. I can't say that one right. But there's like a lot of good fights on that card. And so that card I think is something to look forward to in the very near future. But yeah, it's crazy that the UFC has a bigger roster than ever, but less big fights to make. That's weird for me to say.
Yeah. It's just they've taken this. They did what they had to do to get this Paramount deal, but like last time we were ragging on Hamzat, but this is what happens when you navigate away from Hamzat to get a belt. Well, now you don't have an 85-pound champion that's going to defend. Kayla Harrison, I love her as a person. I think she's a fantastic fighter. She's a girl that's cutting 40 pounds every time she fights. Like that, if you don't think that had something to do with her neck injury, like, yes, I know that that's not the exact problem, but if you don't think that slowly killing yourself over 3 months makes your neck a little bit weaker, like it does. It does. And they did all these things, put all these things in place to get this deal, right? To get propped up, to have a great year last year, to sell. And now this is almost like the rebound year. We thought, or maybe I was wrong. I thought that this was, they got the billion. They got 1 billion. They're going to pay people. I thought they were bringing in, Rico Verhoeven, right? I was like, oh,
I
Rico
know.
Verhoeven. Oh, it's how it's all great. Also, nope, none of it happened.
Bro, that is still a dream. I'm gonna dream that until he retires. I need Rico in the UFC. I need it. I need it. And they finally have the money to do it. So please. All right. Well, my man, after many weeks of hibernation, we are back as a fully hydrated podcast. I'll say that it's been wonderful getting to talk to you after this time off. This was our first stab at this live thing. So to the few people that showed up, thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. People who are going to watch this in the future as it'll sit as a recording on our YouTube profile. Thank you for watching very much. Please forgive us for this first rodeo. I'm going to figure out this system a little better. It's our first time doing it live. It's a thing. So thanks for rocking. Don't forget, in the future, drop some questions ahead of time. Hit us up. Hit us up. Where our socials right here. Hit us up beforehand. You got some random stuff you want to know what's going on in the fight game. Maybe we can help figure that out for you in advance and drop some knowledge across the way. And Zach, my brother, congratulations one more time on your wonderful victory. Looking forward to seeing you fight again soon at Dirty Boxing. Shout out to Dirty Boxing as a whole. Great product. And before, I know there's other stuff that's going to be in the way, but I just want to promote them because I love them so much. Bare Knuckle, Knuckle Mania. Check your schedules. It's going to be dope. It's going to be great. Andrei Arlovsky versus fucking Big Ben, like number 3. Like what? That's happening year 2025. I'm a little bit sad that Yoel Romero won't be able to fight Mark Hunt. I mean, not Mark Hunt, because Mark Hunt's not fighting there. Lorenzo Hunt, the other juggernaut. See, there's too many names connect together, you do stuff like that. But there you go. That's something I'm desperately looking forward to. And anything else, like I said, folks, hit us up. It's been a good time. We'll see you next time. But in the meantime, you know what it is. Stay fully hydrated. All right.